Turns out that the Luka Doncic trade had absolutely nothing to do with basketball whatsoever. It had to do with Texas billionaires wanting to make themselves richer. The Adelson family, who now owns the Dallas Mavericks, they made a purchase from Mark Cuban 2 years ago in 2023, where they purchased 73% of the Dallas Maverick. They have been in the casino business for years. They've been dying to bring a casino to Dallas. They want a new stadium in order to have a casino attached to the stadium and have a little Las Vegas built in Dallas. The Texas legislature only meets once every 2 years, and they did not allow a new casino license, a gambling license, to be sold to the Adelson family. So the Adelsons are pissed. If they don't get what they want, they're threatening to move to Las Vegas. But everybody knows that the NBA would not allow that to happen because Dallas is the fourth biggest TV market in the country, and it's the one of the premier teams. They just went to the NBA Finals again, and so the NBA, if there's a huge fan base in Dallas, which is the case, and the fans love the team and they're supportive of the team, then they're not going to allow the team to move to a totally different city, especially if the team is doing well. So what happens when the Adelsons don't get what they want? They threaten to, again, move the team to Las Vegas, and that is a non-threat until they decide to throw away the marquee player, trade away Luka Doncic. Get rid of him at his prime age when he's right about to be at the best of his entire career, and completely tank the team. And so they had no leverage against the Texas legislature, and they had no ability to threaten to move the team until they get rid of Luka. And nobody thought they were serious because Mark Cuban owned the team. He owned 100% of the team. And then he sold 73% of it to people who don't give a shit about basketball, and they're only interested in making money. And so now they have leverage. Now either the Texas legislature gives them what they want, which is a casino, or the team continues to tank, and eventually they move it to Las Vegas and they get their casino there anyway. So who loses is everybody in Dallas. Everybody that loves the Mavericks gets screwed.
Now, I saw the gentleman's video in regards to the whole Luka trade chaos that we may have saw literally in recent weeks. And they felt that it was more of an Adelsons literally trying to actually get leverage to get a new casino up in Dallas, which, to be honest, given all the information that's been given up in regards to that trade, is clearly further from the truth. And I'm gonna tell you why. The issue is not, Patrick Dumont. It's not Miriam Adelson. Definitely for sure, it's mainly Luke himself. It's not Nico. It's not Jay Kidd. Even though Jason Kidd, Nico Harrison, and actually asked Patrick Dumont to actually trade Luca away and actually get him to go. You know what I mean? They just ain't them. It's literally Luca himself, and I'm gonna tell you why. No, the speculation on how the trade mainly take place has mainly stemmed from like some internal sources and definitely within the Mavs camp about Luca's conditioning as well as commitment within the team. That's within the Mavericks brass, not ours. There's a lot of deep details that's going on behind the scenes that we know nothing about. And it definitely stems from Luca's commitment on defense as well as Luca's conditioning regimen. According to the Dallas Mavericks, this is not coming from us, and this is not saying opinion what he should do and what he should not do. I'm not saying that. This is coming from the brass on basically how J Kidd mainly runs things, and whenever he doesn't really get his way when it comes to like how the game is played or how defenses run, he'll definitely find some manipulative way just to try and make sure that he gets his order and he finds other further ways just for him to win now with a squad. Take it back a couple years, Mark Cuban has sold his majority stake to the Allison family, home in which they actually are the founders and CEOs of the Las Vegas Sands properties, primarily Miriam Adelson, as well as her son-in-law, Mr. Patrick Dumont, who married one of her daughters. So Patrick Dumont is the primary CEO of the Dallas Mavericks. He is the primary owner and the governor of the Dallas Mavericks. Now, why am I bringing this up, ladies and gentlemen? Mark Cuban led the charge in drafting Luka Doncic, one of the emerging, high level, generational changing superstars that we have in NBA history. He led the charge in regards to getting Luka. Okay? And now that Luka is out of the picture, and also he was also the one that actually granted the trade and gave the go ahead for Mr. Nico Harrison to trade for Kyrie Irving to the Mavs as well. Now, since he's out of the picture, since he now has a minority stake in the team, he sold his majority stake to Patrick Dumont, right? Patrick Dumont has not fully built a relationship with Luka Doncic, doesn't fully understand or know about Luka's comings and goings and how he mainly does his routine and training. And he basically went and put his faith in the GM that knows is going to actually run the ship in the best way possible for his team that he mainly owns. So he did grant the go ahead for J Kidd and Nico Harrison to make the big trades just to try and improve their culture as well as put them in a position just to win immediately and now within the next handful of years. You think, and I don't like Pat DeMont, who is a way wealthier billionaire than Mark Cuban, with Marion Adelson, why in the heck would they want to literally try and take their team just for them train away Luka John Doncic, one of the rarest general talents at all time, which is definitely understandable. And I understand why Dallas fans are very frustrated in regards to that. For a legitimate champion in Anthony Davis that can help bolster your squad to win a title this season. You know what I'm saying? And Luka's gonna get you numbers, definitely worldwide, and they can definitely inflate your value within your team and within your franchise for sure. Why would they really want to actually try and trade him away unless they want to try and literally try and build a culture that they have mainly for the team? And they truly actually wanted to actually tank, just actually have the Mavs move to Vegas and everything, they could have traded away every single viable talented piece just to start over immediately. And also, there's no way in hell that the Adelsons and Dumont are going to literally try and force to move up to Vegas and move the Mavs to Vegas. Their little home slots to try and get their little resort there because not only do they need approval from Adam Silver, but they also need approval from the vast majority of owners that are winning that league. It's very impossible to do so due to the fact that they have a very large media market up in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And even if they were the Adelsons, even if they were trying to actually attempt to move the Mavs to Vegas and build their own casino, build their own arena, and try and make max profits. Why would they even want to have actually do that if they already have an NBA ready arena up by the MGM Grand in T-Mobile Arena? Why? With all due respect, with the gentleman that's actually speaking in the video, just you can miss me with that. That is really a bunch of nonsense, and that is literally a bunch of hearsay saying that they're trying to tank the team just so they try and move to Vegas. That is nonsense. The real reason why the Mavericks wanted to trade away Luka for Anthony Davis is due to the fact that they do want to tighten their defensive culture within the organization. They want to try and make sure it's like a hard, fast, steadfast, winning organization all the way out. And also, mind you, winning brings in the big bucks and also brings the big billions, which will make Patrick Dumont and Miriam Allison much, much richer. Okay. They want to really try and soften up their culture. They want to try and make sure everyone that's up in the ocean, everyone that plays for their organization are in tip-top shape and are willing to defend and play basketball. That's all it is. They want to be an instant championship contender to win now. And in the Mavericks' eyes, with the current ownership and the GM and the coach, they feel like Luka does not fit that timeline. And also, they're concerned about his injury history down the line due to the lack of conditioning and also due to his unwillingness to commit defensively. That's what they saw through in their eyes, according to the Mavericks, based on what has allegedly been said behind closed doors. Maybe there could be like some more details behind the scenes, but that's what I've heard from them. That's what they've been stated, and that's what's been speculated. That's the conjecture that's behind that. All right. And that sand stuff that's coming by, this attempt to move to Vegas, it's absolutely horsewash down to the core. Now, you can't fault Patrick Dumont. You can't fault Miriam Adelson. Nor can you fault Nico Harrison or Jason Kidd. The fault all comes down to Mr. Luka Doncic. This is a wake-up call for him. Now, he can redeem himself in LA by following the guidance of Mr. All Hail the King LeBron James and get himself in better condition, get himself in better shape, learn how to defend, and learn every detail from the four-time MVP as well as four-time Finals MVP and NBA champion in LeBron James on how he will be able to actually model being a global player, dealing with a global brand, and one of a lifetime superstars that's up in their generation just to maximize his potential. He can definitely prove the Mavericks wrong and actually prove to them on why they made a mistake in trading him by literally coming out and playing for the Lakers with a vengeance and hopefully winning multiple championships down the line. Whether or not LeBron stays or goes, that's basically the ultimate goal right there. All right? So again, to bring it back up, that whole agenda is saying we got to tank the team so we can try and move to Vegas so we can get our way. That is complete hogwash. If that was really the case, then the Adelsons would not have been involved in actually purchasing the team. If that was really the case, Adam Silver would have had Patrick Dumont and Miriam Adelson suspended, and they would have had a vote by the rest of the owners on them possibly voting them out of ownership from the Dallas Mavericks because they do have the final say of whether or not they can be able to keep their team or whether they can mainly move them if no action has been done. Just like in the situation with Milwaukee, because they can literally move a team to a different location if either there's no improvement on a recent stadium or a modern stadium that's actually been done or a modern arena that needs to be done. That's option number one. Option number two would be like the culture basically within the environment, within like the town is basically toxic and there's not enough revenue that's generated within that region. And since none of them have been checked out for the Dallas Mavericks, they are going to stay put for a very, very long time.